podcast. Doing something a little bit different. We're live on YouTube, I think. At the same time, I got two cameras set up just to see how it goes. The other one will be used for Facebook and YouTube ultimately for this one if this fails. Um, and, I'm just doing this one today, this video, to check the setup. I know I'm going to have Browning on an episode here um, coming up real soon when he gets back. So it's going to be one we tried to record yesterday, but again, where we're not real good at it, we're new at it, we're still making some mistakes that we've got to fix. But it is Wednesday, and Wednesday is church day, right? Um, and a lot of people don't go to church on Wednesdays, and I'm telling you that you're missing out. A lot of good stuff happens on Wednesdays. I know my favorite church time was Wednesday as a kid growing up. You know, I love the uh, church on Wednesdays just because it was, you got to go to the back or you got to go downstairs wherever the kids met then. And so I mean, I like Wednesdays. Wednesdays gives you enough, it's designed to be in the middle of the week, right? So you can um, recharge your battery through the week. And a lot of people think church isn't that, not, it's not necessary for salvation, but really it's necessary if because you're surrounded by the world all throughout the week anyway, right? So to recharge your battery is to go to church on Wednesday and Sunday and to be around Christians. It's where you can kind of relax a little bit and just enjoy the worship and not have to worry about, who you're around or what you're going to see, and it's great. I mean, you can find some rest in the Lord, listen to some worship. And, I know we've been fixing this church up in Montcalm, and I think one day I was waiting on the insurance guy to come give me to take some pictures, and I fell asleep on the pew and just waiting on him, and he was just so calm in there, so peaceful. And I hope by making these videos that it reaches the right people. And I know there's a group, several groups on Facebook that I'm part of, and I hope, that internationally, that is, you guys feel free to use any of these videos that you need. That's why I make them. And whatever, if this helps, you have 100% access to it. That's why it's not charged, right? Like, I wouldn't, be honest with you, I wouldn't even know how to, but, but anyway, so just go to church tonight if you're listening to this. And it's a it's just a great time to be around other Christians, and it's more of a relaxed atmosphere compared to like Sundays, right? So if you you go and like tonight we'll go to Grace Baptist and we'll sit in the downstairs basement, and I'm still learning from my pastor. And he's a great man, um, very trustworthy, and it's very important that you find a church to go to that is teaching sound biblical doctrine. You have to. If it doesn't line up with what you feel is in the Bible, then you shouldn't attend. And you know, and also what's a lot of people don't seem to know is that you cannot be a active church member and not be saved. I don't know if you know that, but that's required. Yeah, to be a church member, you've got to be born again. And it's not um no, you could go all you want. You could go to any church you want, however many times you want. That ain't got nothing to do with it. A voting church member, part of the congregation, um, part of that church, you have to be a Christian to be a member. A lot of people think, well, that's no, you don't. Yes, you do. And you got to, there's a lot of stuff that there's differences in, saved and not saved, or rather, once saved, always saved. A lot of that's the way I believe, and a lot of people do not believe that way. And, they take it as an opportunity to let you know how stupid you are for believing that way. But I encourage everybody that if you have differing opinions, um, to do it respectfully. There's nothing, you don't have to be disrespectful to one another to have a differing opinion. Um, I believe in eternal security. Um, I'm thinking about writing my master's thesis on that. Um, it's between that and a couple other topics that I've narrowed it down to, and that's going to be 90 pages single spaced. So or 180 double spaced. Either way, you're not getting. It's got to be 20,000 words minimum. Um, but it's an advanced degree, right? So it requires a little bit more work. But that's eternal security to touch on a little bit for me. I believe that once we're saved, we're always saved, and a lot of people say, "Well, that give you carte blanche to go sin with however you want to sin or sin." And no, it doesn't, because if you're truly born again, God's not going to let you live in sin. Those I love, I chastise, and if you're not chastised, then you're a bastard and not a son. If you're living in sin and God calls you, God may call you once, He may call you 100 times, but there's going to be one day that He quits calling you and He sought you down, and He's going to He's going to punish you. So if you're living in constant sin with no conviction, then you're not Christian to begin with. And that once saved, always saved again is the biggest difference in that, and people thinking you can lose your salvation, is Catholics and Protestants. That's the big thing, because Catholics, that's what they believe in, that you have to um, confess your sins to a man. I disagree with. Jesus is our intercessor. I'm not asking a sinful man for forgiveness or to take my sins to the Lord. That's what Jesus Christ is for. I don't pray to any other person besides Jesus. I don't pray to the apostles. And even in the Bible, it says they fell down and worshiped Paul. And Paul's like, get up. Don't pray to me. So again, this isn't to knock Catholicism or Catholics. I know some Catholics that are great people and, really, really good people. And, I'm not going to disrespect them personally for their religious choice, just like I would ask that they don't do mine. Right. So there is enough violence in this world, enough Christians are being persecuted that, and especially in Africa, in Syria, and where was the other one? Mm, There's so many everywhere. It's ridiculous. And we're so spoiled over here. We're like babies in the United States because we have it so good. We have so much freedom that we have people that are going around talking about how they hate our country, and that they have a right to hate it. Well, that's fine, but you wouldn't hate the country if you went somewhere else and was killed or had to hide to express your views. You know, um, just there's a whole circle and there's a quote, but I don't know who said it, that hard times create strong people create good times create weak people, and weak people create bad times. And then the circle starts again. Bad times create strong people create good times. And it's just a never ending circle. And I'll let you try to guess where we're at currently in the United States right now. My opinion is that we're um, weak people creating bad times. And those bad times are going to require another generation to go through what they have to go through to create good times. They'll have to be strong people. That's if this country is going to flourish anyway. What this country needs to do is forget man, forget everything except for Jesus Christ, turn back to Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ will bless the United States. He really will. And and I'm just saying United States because that's where I'm at. So God will bless any country on the earth that turns to Him. It doesn't matter. You could be from anywhere and believe in Jesus Christ. I mean, it ain't like um, this is where Christianity originated in the United States. So giving that love to the Middle East in that area over there, where it all started. But you know, um, and just a little bit of fun fact for you guys is, where did the term Christians first get used? What city? Christians were first called Christians in Antioch. That is the birthday of the church. Also is in Acts chapter 2. Also, when I refer to the Bible, I just want all of y'all to know that I'm referring to the King James Bible. Yes, King James Bible is the only Bible I use. And this is the only Bible that I'll preach or teach from. And so not only am I once saved, always saved, I am a King James only. So the more I talk, the more enemies I make. And and again, I believe in Jesus Christ as the only way, not grace, or not works rather, but through His grace, through faith, not money. You can't pray your way into heaven after you die, such as another sect of Christianity believes. Um, there is no purgatory. There's heaven and hell, and I'm an old school. Just this way I was raised in the Bible, and it's the way I am, right? But I just want you all to know that even if we have different views, I'm not going to outrightly just disrespect you. It's not going to happen. But I will stand firm for my faith and what I believe, and that will be backed up with scripture. Um, so I get none of this from myself. It is from the Bible only. So if it's this glare. But again, I'm just making this quick video just to check everything out, make sure it's ready. And if you haven't already and you're watching this, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, follow it, and Facebook, the Narrow Way Ministry. Christian Pilgrim is the profile name. The Narrow Way Ministry is the page attached. And I'll be posting videos on YouTube and on Facebook. Also, services from Narrow Way Baptist Church in Montcalm, which I'll be posting as well. I hope you all have a great week. Don't forget church tonight. Be ready. Get everything laid out beforehand, and that especially works good on Sundays. Get everything ready beforehand, and then that way you're not stressed out trying to find your clothes. And it ain't really clothes for me. It's pretty much socks. But anyway, I love all of y'all. And have a safe